back in Planet Zoo, where we are creating a modern style habitat for the ostrich. Now, I've not actually created a habitat for these. It'll be interesting to see how it comes out look in the end. Started with this modern post in this glass. I'm just going to show you how I've created this modern post actually. So I started with these metal pieces. Pretty much this whole build is all themed on just being really modern and maybe a little bit abstract, would you call it? I don't know. I'm not an architect. I'm just a Planet Zoo player. So yeah, these metal pieces, and these are the beams out of the conservation pack, which I absolutely adore. So yeah, back to this, and once again, a hell of a lot more conservation beams along the window, just creating like a little rim, and then some overhanging supportive beams at the top here. And then I created like a little shaded area, again using the beams, you guessed it, but also these fabric pieces which are from the Indian biome, would you call it? I don't know, the Indian pieces anyway, from India obviously. And then just placing these beams, what you've already seen made in place, and it came out looking like this, which I'm really happy with, and this will set the foundation for the main viewing area. Now, I posted this viewing area on Reddit, and a lot of people seem to like it for some reason. So yeah, if you want this whole build, then my Steam Workshop link will be in the description below. You can see me just building a custom path here. I tend to do this a lot and then just place a normal path underneath. Your guests will still walk on it, and I just created some half circle design to go on the path. Once the custom path was in place and I extended it a little bit, I wanted to create this kind of like flower bed area. I wanted a desert theme, but still keeping it modern. So I just put a little bit of rocks together, a little bit of foliage, and created this area of foliage basically. And then once I knew the path was sorted, it was time to go on to kind of like the main structure, the main piece, what is going to stand out and is going to be our hard shelter for our animals. I do end up building this habitat for the ostrich. Like I said before, I've never built a habitat for the ostrich before. I didn't have the ostrich in mind when building this habitat, so it just kind of seemed to work because it's a desert animal and it's a desert habitat. I don't know, and I thought I've never built one, so I'll just stick the ostrich in there. I'm going to be honest, at this point it's just a building simulator for me, this game. I just love building and get creative, like you can see me doing here, just creating kind of like a little wooden trim on the bottom of one of the main buildings, and then using the plaster pieces. The plaster pieces are so diverse and so universal, and you can use them for so much, especially the ones that are not on the grid. You can see me just creating another viewing area here, which will be the inside viewing area of the hard shelter. I create a body of water on the other side as well, so stay tuned for that. It does look pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. Again, just filling this in with plaster pieces. You'll see here I've created this whole habitat with the same kind of theme, and I try to keep it very similar throughout, and the same colours as well, the same colour scheme. You can see me using this kind of like dark grey, and then obviously the conservation wood pieces come in this colour, what you can see me building with here, which you probably know that if you use them when you have the conservation pack. And I just think it works really well, just two types of grey and then this wood effect. It just seems to blend really well when creating anything modern really within Planet Zoo. See, I just deleted the actual habitat border then, which was made out of glass obviously for the viewing area, because I wanted to get this in a blueprint for you if you want to download it. So you can download it off the Steam Workshop and it will work. It should work, fingers crossed. Let me know if it doesn't. I'll see if I can help you in the comment section below. But yeah, I've replaced it with these glass panels anyway, just to make it a little bit more easier to create a blueprint out of. Now you can see I added a little bit more detail in here. I added some more fabric pieces over the outside viewing area. I should have said the inside viewing area, sorry, where the window pane is. You see me just creating this, what would you call it? It's like a supportive beam what holds up the fabric really. I didn't want it too thick and bulky like the previous beams what I created, so I wanted to create something else instead of just copying and pasting that basically. And again, I went with the same kind of theme. We're going with the metal and the wood, keeping it modern, keeping it fresh, and keeping it in the same theme. And you know, I've actually impressed with myself how good these look. You can see me just placing here, and I do fiddle around with it. I decide to actually put them all as one instead of have them individually, and I do this a lot with my builds. I fiddle around with it, I take a look back, I'll zoom out, think, no, that doesn't look right, and then go back in and try to fix things or change things to make things look even better. Same with just adding the detail, and I say it all the time, and you probably, if you watch any of my videos or you're a long-term subscriber of mine, if you're not, by the way, subscribe, especially if you like Planet Zoo and you like Planet Zoo speed build videos. But the detailing really matters. I'll show you what I mean here. You can see a viewing area is done, but if we just add some detailing in now, so let's do that. Let's add this, you can see I've got the education board there. Of course, we need that, very important within Planet Zoo. Some other screens of education, and then this kind of like overhang area, again using the same kind of wood pieces, but the detailing really just makes everything stand out. And what about a little barrier here to stop the guests tapping on the window and annoying our lovely animals inside the habitat? Add a bit of foliage in, just looks miles better. Well, it does to me anyway. And then the roof, I thought and played with the idea of creating a custom roof, and I thought, no, I'll just do it off the original grid so I have a decent hangover, so it hangs over the side and looks a little bit more modern and a little bit, well, better really is the word I'm looking for. And then another little edge to it here, another dimension of creating an extra roof, kind of like an elevated area. Maybe to allow airflow, I would say it looks like it would be used for, but I've seen this kind of build, especially in conservation projects in real life before. I've seen this kind of roof being done, again using the pieces, and this is where I do create a little custom roof on the top of here, again, you guessed it, using the conservation pieces. So I just line them up, copying them over, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's rant, you've got a custom roof. So let's fast forward this bit when it's done, and I'll show you what it looks like. And this is what it looked like, just a bunch of conservation pieces again, I suppose. Yeah, you're probably getting sick of me saying the word conservation now. The word even sounds weird. Do you ever do that? Do you ever say a word so many times that the word ends up sounding a bit weird and kind of like not a word? Or is that just me? Am I weird? I'm just probably weird, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, the body water is in now. Kind of like a moat, would you call it? Kind of like separates the animal from the habitat barrier. But that's in. And let's add some foliage and a little bit of rock work. Makes everything look miles better, as you can see. And then this area looked a little bit bland, so I wanted another education point and a little bit of a canopy, so I added that. On this side, on the inside of the habitat, I wanted like a caged area. Cage, would you call that? Mesh pieces anyway. And it just gives the impression that, you know, the animal can be locked off inside if need be for medical reasons, or research reasons, or if they're pregnant or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a zookeeper. I'm not a zookeeper and I'm not an architect. I'm just a Planet Zoo builder. What do you call it? Content creator? I don't hate that word. It's better. Saying content creator is definitely better than saying YouTuber. I just don't know what about it. It just makes me cringe. I just enjoy making videos, and people want to watch my videos, then it makes me really happy. So I'll carry on doing what makes me happy and what makes other happy. And if you are new around here, then hit that subscribe button. And if you like this habitat and you are liking this video, then please hit that like button. It does help the channel a lot. Now, rock work, you can see me just finishing in this gap, and we're pretty much done now for the whole habitat. It was quite simple but very effective. I think the viewing area took me longer than the whole habitat itself to finish off. And yeah, adding two different kinds of coloured rocks, but the same kind of rocks, which is the four rocks, I think they pronounce. I used to say forks, got told that was wrong off a viewer. 4 rocks. I love these rocks, my favourite. And then just duplicating some foliage over. Say it all the time, once you've got one patch or once you've got one side, you've got all the sides. Or if you've got all the patches, it's very simple in Planet Zoo really. Adding some of the old cactuses, and let's skip to how everything looked in the end, shall we? And here we are. It's complete. For the sake of showing you around and showing you the architect aspects, I've took the ostriches out. Believe me, they are very comfortable, but I would put a maximum of 2 in there and keep an eye on them, or just use it in sandbox. You don't have to worry about it if you turn some settings off. But yeah, this is how it came out look in the end, and I'm really happy with it. Again, if you want it, Steam Workshop in the description below. So the main viewing area, we've got an education setting here, education board. We've got this lovely little foliage piece here. Again, another inside viewing area here to complement the outside viewing area next to it. Lovely body of water. I went with the tropical coloured water. Added these little pipes in, so it just looks a little bit better. I tried to come up with a really technical word then, and It didn't happen in my brain, so yeah, I'm just going to go with the word better, because it does look better. We've got another education board here. As you can see, free education settings. Yeah, they're going to be educated, our guest, anyway, let's put it that way. The custom roof on here is looking absolutely brilliant. I'm just in love with this viewing area. It's possibly one of my favourite viewing areas I've ever created. I'll take you inside now. Inside, you can see we've got this area here, so it looks like we can close off the ostriches or any animal you decide to put in this, really. I would suggest smaller animals. It's not that big of a space, to be honest with you. And then again, on this side, it leaves a lot of room for your habitat enrichment items to be put in. You can see I've included quite a lot of foliage. Again, foliage is king in Planet Zoo. I'll just take you inside here as well. The animals can get in here, and they do have access to this water. And the ostriches do go in this water as well. They will go down this little ramp what I've created, and they will swim all along here. And you can just imagine, if this was real life, the kind of view you would have of an animal swimming in that water. So yeah, there's the end of the video. If you're new around here, feel free to sub. Really struggling to get my words out in this video. You've probably been able to tell. Honestly, I'm not drunk, I'm just tired. My name's Adam. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will catch you in the next Planet Zoo video. Subscribe and like. That was a mouthful. And I will catch you in the next, you guessed it, Planet Zoo video.